Movie opens on a young woman named Hannah watching a fit, attractive girl move through her exercise routine. Hannah has been trying to lose weight, but the number never moves. It sits exactly where it always has. The girl, Alana, says she caught Hannah watching her, then asks if she'd like to join her 12-week challenge to get slim. Hannah reluctantly agrees. Hannah is a medical student. Today, students are assigned dead bodies to study. Her group receives the corpse of a very heavy woman. On the woman's hands is nail polish in the exact same shade Hannah is wearing on her own. Back home, Hannah removes that nail polish, but as she does, she feels something behind her. Afterward, she heads out to throw her donuts into the trash bin. The bin looks strangely deep, far deeper than it should. It's Hannah's birthday. She and her friend are at a bar where a girl across the room is checking Hannah out. Her friend Nikki tells her to go for it, but Hannah waves it off and slips away toward the washroom. The girl comes to her instead and introduces herself. She turns out to be Melissa, an old friend of Hannah's, now completely transformed. Melissa tells her about an expensive pill called Gray. It isn't approved, but no matter what you eat, the weight simply melts off her. She even hands Hannah one to try. These pills are the reason Melissa has become a completely different person. That night they party. Drunk, Hannah eats far more than she should. In the morning, a whistle cuts through her sleep and wakes her. In a reflection, we glimpse someone. Hannah steps onto the scale to check her weight. It has only gone up. She pulls the pills from her purse and messages Melissa to ask the price. Her phone feed is flooded with body positivity and weight loss videos. Melissa replies, "The pills cost $5,000. Hannah drives to her parents' house, but from outside, she can already hear them fighting. Her mother, tears in her eyes and a smile forced onto her face, wishes her a happy birthday. She's made a healthy, low-fat cake just for her. The next day, Hannah tests the pill in her lab. The results come back high in sodium, high in potassium. It's basically human ash. That same day, the class practices on the dead body, nicknaming her Bertha. They remove one of her ribs. After everyone has left, Hannah pulls the rib from the trash. She places it in a furnace and burns it down to ash. At home, she packs that ash into pills. The moment she takes the first dose, her stomach begins to gurgle. Then her empty scale starts displaying someone's weight. Hannah also joins Alana's challenge. That night, hungry, she walks into the kitchen. There, in the reflection of the kettle, she sees someone standing behind her. She writes it down in her notebook, wondering if it's a hallucination brought on by the ash. Over the next several days, Hannah works out, takes the pills, and devours huge meals at night. She's eating even more than before, yet the weight starts falling off. Alana, impressed by her progress, snaps a photo with her and posts it on Instagram. Hannah hears a sound coming from behind her. In the kettle's reflection, she once again catches something standing back there. She mounts a large mirror in that same spot and tries to look, but the mirror shows nothing. The thing is only visible in a convex reflection. Using the reflection in a spoon, Hannah moves toward it, and it's none other than Bertha. Hannah notes all of it down. The next day, her mom comes by her house. She's going on a trip, which comes as a shock to Hannah since her dad can't be left alone. Her mom says, "You'll check on him." The following day, as Hannah sleeps, Bertha floats just above her. She drifts down toward Hannah and crushes her. Right then, Hannah jolts awake. Hannah eats heavily, pulls bones from Bertha's body, burns them into ash, and takes them as pills, and her weight keeps dropping. But alongside it, questions take shape in her mind. Is Bertha getting bigger? Is she getting stronger? At a certain point, Hannah's weight hits 59 kilos. Her weight loss goal is complete. When Alana sees this progress, she asks Hannah straight out, "Are you following my diet guidelines?" With real concern, she says, "Whatever you're doing, whatever shortcut you think you found, I promise you it is a bad path." But Hannah tells her she isn't doing anything. She's only been doing what Alana has had her doing for weeks, thinking it would impress her. And with that, Alana finally understands Hannah's feelings for her. Hurt, Hannah buys a pile of sugary treats. But back home, just as she starts to eat, Alana's face comes back to her. She doesn't touch the chocolate bar. Then on its own, the bar slides toward her. Hannah sits down and picks it up. She eats it in fear, but she starts to enjoy it, and another bar comes sliding her way. When she opens that one, the whole bag comes to her. Hannah has to eat all of it. While studying Bertha's body in class, the group discovers she had liver cancer, which was likely what killed her. The next day, Hannah visits her parents' house where the entire kitchen sits in disarray. She orders food and sets it down in front of her father, a fairly heavy man. Hannah heads straight back to the gym, where she and Alana run into each other in the locker room. Alana apologizes for the other day, saying she wasn't trying to be harsh. As they talk, she leans in close and she kisses Hannah. After that, Hannah decides she's done with the pills. She empties the ash out of all of them into a Tupperware container. She tosses every bit of junk food and starts cooking healthy meals. But right then, her fridge swings open on its own. Hannah shuts it once, and it opens again. Her stomach begins to gurgle. She looks into the reflection of a spoon. Who's right behind her? Hannah pulls food from the fridge, but instead of eating it, she dumps it in the trash. This makes Bertha furious. Hannah goes back and lies down in her room, but her door drifts open by itself. The sound of Bertha's heavy body moving fills the room. The mattress sinks beneath her weight. Then Bertha leaves. Hannah locks the door and falls asleep, but she comes to in the kitchen where she's already devoured everything in the fridge. The next day, Hannah starts researching it online. Setting the medical angle aside, she begins reading about spirit possessions. Hannah meets Melissa and tells her the pills contain human ash. She asks her about the side effects of her own pills. Melissa says she only got nightmares now and then. One time, lying in bed, she heard someone whistling in the hallway, the same thing that happened to Hannah. But ever since Melissa stopped taking the pills, nothing like that happened to her again. For Hannah, it was still happening. Melissa told Hannah to get herself checked out. So Hannah runs some tests. They reveal a tumor in her pancreas, but a very small, benign one. It has nothing to do with her sleepwalking. The doctor says it could be down to diet and fatigue. Hannah keeps growing thinner. One night, studying late, she's utterly exhausted. And then she notices it written on her own notebook. Do not sleep. One of her eyes begins to move in a strange way. The next day, Bertha's human organs start looking like a cake to her, which unsettles her classmates. Her friend Josie asks, "What's wrong?" Josie is the only one who knows about Hannah's ash pills. She tells her, "You look sick, Hannah. Do you really think you're going to magically feel better when you hit a certain number on the scale?" Josie urges her to stop punishing herself, then walks off. Hannah goes to Alana. They start drinking and things get intense. But even in her sleep, Hannah's stomach gurgles and she comes to in the middle of Alana's kitchen where she's eaten everything. Alana sees it. Hannah starts cleaning up, but when one of Alana's friends appears, she bolts on the road in a safety mirror. She spots Bertha closing in behind her. Hannah buys food and heads home. She hears Bertha coming toward her room. Something is trying to open her door, but it's only Hannah's dad. She has come back to her parents' house. Then Bertha shatters the glass window of her room and forces her way inside. Hannah hurriedly eats the food she brought. She snaps at her dad standing behind the door and sends him away. Terrified of Bertha, she shovels down massive amounts of food. But even after all of that, her stomach won't stop gurgling. Bertha wants more. Hannah clears everything out of the kitchen. She takes her mom's camera from the kitchen and sets it up in her own room. She lies down on the floor and falls asleep. Then she comes on her feet standing. Every bit of food is gone. Hannah checks the camera footage. She'd been rising in her sleep and simply eating. To feed her hunger, she had even eaten the body butter sitting on the shelf. Now Hannah tries to make herself throw up. Hannah feels her bones beginning to show. She has lost a tremendous amount of weight. Then there's a knock at her door. Her father has made pancakes for her. Hannah takes them and goes to him. She says, "I didn't even know you could cook." Their conversation makes it clear that Hannah doesn't like her father because he doesn't care about himself and so little about them. Hannah checks her sugar level. It was 7.5. She goes to Josie. "I need help. I'm losing weight way too fast." Josie says, "I told you not to take Melissa's pills." So Hannah tells her the truth, that she made these pills herself from Bertha's ashes. Josie finds it deeply disgusting. Hannah tells her that Bertha has latched onto her spiritually. To prove it, she hands Josie some spoons. Hannah has a theory that Bertha appears whenever her glucose drops below 6 mls. She exercises to force the level down. It begins to appear in the spoon's reflection, but Josie can't see anything. Josie starts to suggest Hannah speak with the school psych when the objects lying around them start falling on their own. Seeing it, Josie finally believes her. Hannah explains there's a direct correlation. The more calories she consumes, the more weight she loses and the larger Bertha grows. And with Melissa, all of it ended the moment she stopped taking the pills, meaning Bertha is different. During class, Hannah steals her professor's keys and digs up Bertha's file. Her real name was Grace. They go and speak with her sister, who tells them the cancer began very small, just a tiny speck on her pancreas, exactly like the one Hannah has now. Learning about Grace from her sister, Hannah understands why she latched onto her. She needs to return everything she took from Bertha. Hannah heads home for her ash, but her mom has already arrived cleaning the place. She's shocked to see Hannah so thin and asks, "Are you okay?" Hannah starts searching for the ash, but her mom moved things around while cleaning. The Tupperware is empty. Her mom threw out the ash, thinking it was dust. Hannah digs it back out of the trash outside, but then her stomach begins to gurgle. Hannah runs toward her home as Bertha closes in on her. Hannah reaches her apartment, but there's barely anything in the fridge. Her mom, looking at her scans, asks why she didn't tell her anything. Hannah tries to explain that it isn't serious, but Hannah noticed something in the scan. Then, Bertha bursts through the door and knocks Hannah's mom to the ground. Hannah drags her into the room. Bertha aggressively hurls things across the space. Bertha seizes Hannah by the hair and climbs on top of her. Hannah's body is crushed beneath her weight. Bertha has become so massive now. Hannah grabs a bottle of cleaning liquid lying nearby and drinks it, forcing Bertha off of her. Hannah grabs her things and runs. On the way, she gulps down a huge amount of juice from a grocery store. She steals a staff member's card from her university locker room so she can get into the medical lab. She takes Joss's phone and locks it inside a cell so Josie can't call anyone. Hannah goes into the lab alone and says, "Just trust me." She inhales some drugs to get high. She is going to perform surgery on herself by herself. She believes the ash gave her the tumor in the exact same spot as Bertha's, and she needs to remove it to break the connection. Josie is completely against the idea, but Hannah has no other way. She wants Josie to make sure she doesn't bleed out. Then Hannah lowers her blood sugar. She sees Bertha's dead body lying nearby begin to move. Hannah has started hallucinating. She finds herself wrapped in a plastic sheet. She drops down. She tears through the plastic and pulls herself out only to find she's in the middle of a heap of trash. It's all the garbage Hannah had thrown away. She grabs a scalpel from beside her and performs the surgery. But right then, Bertha appears before her. Hannah races to remove the tumor before Bertha can reach her. She cuts the tumor out, but Bertha grabs hold of her anyway. Hannah tries to fight back, and Bertha twists her wrist. Then in the very next moment, Bertha vanishes above her. Hannah sees the Hannah from before, the one looking down into the dustbin. Hannah smiles at her, but right then, Josie slaps her back to her senses. Hannah survives. Earth's body is finally burned. Sometime later, Hannah paints her nails in that same color. Then they honor these dead bodies for becoming their silent teachers. After that, Hannah goes to Alana carrying bags of groceries to replace everything she ate last time. But Alana doesn't want the groceries. She wants the truth. She wants to understand what's been happening to Hannah. Then the two of them grow close once again, after which Hannah comes to while eating something. She had eaten Alana.